and taking it past midfield, and down the sideline he goes. This is storybook. An opening kickoff return for Damar Hamlin.
2nd and 17. Hamlin has time. Intercepted. Sauce Gardner's got it.
And the Kansas City Chiefs have won Super Bowl 57.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Sportorium podcast. And man, what was that? That just happened at the beginning of the video. That was awesome. Is that a new intro?
Right. I think so.
Damn.
Could be some fun stuff.
Oh yeah, me and Rock have been working hard on it.
Totally.
Yeah, we put a lot of man hours into that, but I think it turned out pretty well.
Copyrighted and turned down, so
we'll see. You actually might not hear this. We don't know, but yeah, start the episode. Cheers. Shout out to my Bill's wine glass.
Ew, gross.
All right, so today we're going to go over the first week of free agency. There's a bunch of signings. There's still so many people that are out there right now. But
yeah, really good ones too.
Yeah, a lot of difference makers. But we're going to go over what did happen. So we're starting it off. We're going to go division by division. We're starting off with the AFC East. We're going to go over the Buffalo Bills. So they signed 3 free agents in Kyle Allen, Deontay Hardy, and Connor McGovern. Kyle Allen, I think it's just so funny that there's 2 quarterbacks named Allen on the team now. And it's also cool that it's like Josh's best friend. And it was a cheap deal too. I think it's like 1 year for like 1.1 mil or something. And Kyle Allen's had some pretty good play in the NFL. So I think that's a good deal. And then Deontay Hardy, which is a little bit of a weird one. It's better because they cut Isaiah McKenzie, and they're kind of similar in the role that they're going to be. And I don't know if you remember him, but his name was, what was it? It was Deontay Harris. He was in Madden. He was like a 79 overall, but he was a superstar because and he was on the Saints.
He was a return guy though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was an All-Pro 3 years ago for being a return man. But in Madden all the time, I would trade for him because he's like 24 now. So he's like 22 gold, and you put him at receiver in 6 years, he was just a beast. So that's how I know the guy. But
it says here he's 25 years old and he has 5 years experience.
Yeah,
came into the league at 20.
Yeah, he's electric, but I mean, it's a little bit of a bigger contract for a guy that 2 years ago was his best year on offense. He had like not even 700 yards, but it was 2-year deals, 9.5 base salary, 5 mil guaranteed. It's not a lot of money, and apparently they said he turned down a bigger contract to be here, which I don't know how accurate that is, but Brandon Beane has always said, if you could find me a guy like Tyreek Hill that's available, I'll go get him. I think that's his thinking because he does have there's many plays. It was against the Cowboys, I think 2 years ago, just like a screen, and he takes it 75 yards of the house, and just like it looked like a Tyreek play. I'm not saying this guy is anywhere close to Tyreek, but he's got game-breaking speed, and he's got that part of the offense that they really didn't have. So, I mean, I do like the signing.
All right. I mean, I think McKenzie might be a little better, but who knows how they're going to use him. So, I don't know.
The only thing with Hardy is much faster than McKenzie. Plus, McKenzie has like questionable hands at times. I don't know. It's tough.
McKenzie is also garbage. So
we
should get into that too.
No. Yeah. Well, that's why he is a free agent right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And then Connor McGovern, not to be confused with Connor McGovern. This is the Cowboys one.
Yep.
3 years, 23 mil.
Signing.
Yeah, I mean, compared to like what did Lindstrom get? Like 20 mil or something. I don't know. He got a ridiculous contract. The guards were getting a pretty decent amount of money. So, I mean, it's not too much. Plus, they needed the interior O-line help. So, it is what it is. And then the big one, re-signing Jordan Poyer to a 2-year, $12.5 million deal, up to 14.5 with incentives.
He's an idiot.
I mean, it could just be his market just wasn't that good. Which
Can't be.
I don't know.
I think he just wanted to go home. He pulled like an Anthony Barr. I'll take less money and just go home.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely could have taken a little bit less because when he was introduced again, like after he signed his contract, he was saying like the opportunities that were out there just they weren't the same. Like I this is where I need to be, like, because obviously him and Micah Hyde are one of the best duos in the NFL.
Now they're old, they're hurt.
Last year they were. I mean, Micah Hyde was out the whole year. Poyer was banged up, but
True.
I mean, you're paying for one of the best safeties in the NFL still. He's definitely getting older, and I guess he's declining. I'm just gonna blame that on the injuries, though. He could still be an All-Pro level, I think. And to get that for just over
dirt cheap,
just over $7 million a year, when Jesse Bates would he get 16?
Yeah, something gross.
And Jesse Bates deserved that, though. I mean, like, he's
agreed, but that's
also
high for safety.
Yeah, he's also 25, 26. So
Could be.
Clearly that has something to do with the contract. But I think that's a great deal. And then they also signed Dane Jackson to a 1-year deal. Okay, just corner depth. Dane Jackson's been okay. And then some other guys, special teamers, Tyler Medikevich, they re-signed him, also re-signed Sam Martin, and extended Matt Milano. I love the Matt Milano extension.
Yeah, that was good. What are they going to do replacing Edmonds, though?
This is the big thing. This is what they need to do. So what I really think is going to happen is they're just not going to address it, because you saw guys like Drew Tranquil, who signed for like $4 million with the Chiefs. Why would you not sign a guy for $4 million who's instantly plug and play your middle linebacker? I think they're going to look for what they have on the roster, because they re-signed Tyrell Dodson. They have Terrell Bernard they drafted in the 3rd round. They got Balin Spector out of Clemson in the 5th round. I think they're just going to try to upgrade from within. I don't think they should. If you want to go get somebody else, like I wanted Eric Kendricks. I thought Eric Kendricks would have been a great signing. He didn't get a lot of money either. But I really do expect them to go into the draft. And if you look at the past couple drafts, last year, they needed a corner. They basically reached for Khair Elam. The year before that, they didn't have a first rounder. Or no, the year before that, they needed edge. They got Greg Rousseau. The year before that, they didn't have a first because it was Diggs for JJ, basically. Year before that, they needed a D tackle. They got Ed Oliver. Even talk about Josh Allen. They needed a quarterback. They got a quarterback. So I think that's what they're going to do, is just they don't have a linebacker, and then maybe they'll draft one in the 1st round.
Could be.
Not what I want them to do, but that's what I see happening, because it's what I have learned with the Bills. Whatever I want them to do, they do the opposite. So,
and it's usually the right call.
Sometimes. I mean, Elam hasn't really worked out too well. He was just. They also do this thing where they draft rookies and then don't play them, and it's so frustrating. It takes them 2 years to actually be a starter. Still, I want to see them sign a running back. I really like.
There's a lot. I think Zeke is going to go.
I think Zeke is a perfect fit.
Yeah,
because
it really is.
I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying, Bills fans saying, oh, we don't want Zeke. He's washed. Okay, you're not signing him to be the RB1. He's going to be the backup. He's going to be your short yardage back. He's one of the best pass protector running backs in the league. He's literally exactly what you need. So
except for the last play of the season.
Yes, as long as you don't line him up at center, we're fine. I am fully endorsing.
Last play as a Cowboy, and that.
Yeah, that's
I love it.
What a way to end it, man.
Yep.
Classic Cowboys fashion.
True.
Yeah, I'm fully on the Zeke to Buffalo train, but we'll see.
I hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah. All right. Then we're going to head over to Miami, where they are just, oh my God, they're making moves, and I'm scared. They didn't
lose a single person. That's crazy.
Except the one they traded, who is a 3rd or 4th string tight end, which doesn't matter. The only one move that I don't like is the Mike White signing. Because
I think that's freaking amazing for him. I think Mike White is going to take over for Teddy. Not Teddy.
For Tua?
For Tua.
No way. No way.
Uh-huh. Mike White, you'll see. You'll see.
Okay, but I'm talking about contract-wise. What is it, 2 years, $16 million?
Yeah.
And then Baker signed a 1 year for 4.5. Darnold's getting 4.5.
Yeah.
There's even Cooper Rush got 2 years, $6 million. They paid a lot of money for Mike White.
That should show you something.
That it was not a good signing is what it shows me.
That he might be the starter.
He's definitely not the starter. I think they definitely wanted to get a higher end backup, and I guess they see him as a higher end backup as compared to Baker or Darnold, because it's pretty likely that he's going to see some significant snaps somewhere along the line. I don't know. I personally don't like it, but you like Mike White, so different.
Yeah, I do. But just as a person, he's not the greatest quarterback, but good.
Yeah, and he's from Miami, so that's cool.
That is true.
Another dude from the Jets, from Miami, Braxton Berrios. signed a 1-year deal. I think it was pretty cheap. I don't know how much it was, but yeah, we're not going to get into every single one except a couple. They re-signed Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
They got them.
Still need something there though.
Exactly. Like they got them both on good deals, but like it was like I don't know. It really wasn't the greatest RB duo. They were in on Dalvin Cook. Like I don't know. There's definitely more that they could have done. Like a Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
They could still be in on somebody, but I don't know. It's kind of just like, to me, you're just accepting mediocrity at the position.
Yeah, agreed. And now they need tight end too. Let's see what they're going to do there.
Yeah, it is true. They signed tight end Eric Saubert.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Schobert?
I don't know. He's not good. They also re-signed Myles Gaskin, who was good for like a couple of weeks 2 years ago.
Yeah, gross.
They also signed Dan Feeney, the mullet man himself.
Mm-hmm.
Duke Riley, Nick Needham, they re-signed. Re-signed Deshaun Elliott to a cheap deal. Re-signed Jake Bailey. And the two big ones, obviously the big one, traded for Jalen Ramsey, an absolute blockbuster, and they gave up a bag of Doritos and a half-eaten Kit Kat. And then Elliott was like, "Yeah, no, you can have Ramsey. It's fine."
That's crazy.
I'm in shock.
Unfortunate. Yeah, it sucks.
I saw the update and I was like, "Oh my god." Well, at least maybe they gave up like a first or maybe 2 seconds or something.
Not at all.
And then it's a third and your third string tight end?
Yeah.
Why would they even want Hunter Long? Why wouldn't you just get like a fifth or a sixth or something if that's how low you're going to go? Even throw in a seventh instead of Hunter Long. I don't understand that. The only thing that I will say about it is that they didn't have a lot of leverage because that's where he wanted to go. And but at the same time, like the Lions were in, there was definitely other teams. Like I don't think he had a no trade clause.
I don't think so either. It's basically the Aaron Rodgers situation. Like he wants to go to the Jets, but Green Bay is holding strong until they get what they want.
Exactly, and that's what the Rams should have done. They could have got a lot more.
100%.
Weird
and he would have played for him. It's different. Aaron Rodgers could go retire.
Yeah.
Ramsey would maybe have to be forced to play for him. So Rams are idiots, honestly.
And then one of their best signings is David Long signed a 2-year, $11 million deal. Absolute steal. The linebacker market is very, very weird. There a lot of good players are not getting a lot of money, but David Long, he probably could have got closer to almost 10 mil. Maybe not at that level. Like for him to sign for 5.5, I don't understand like how the Titans didn't even match that or beat that.
Yeah, agreed. Good offseason so far for them, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're doing things the right way. They're showing that they're very aggressive.
Yeah,
and they don't even have that many holes, and they're just adding players.
Yeah,
like if you who else did they traded for Bradley Chubb? Now they traded for Jalen Ramsey. They traded for Tyreek, obviously. Like they are all in right now.
They really are.
Very, very
they should
aggressive.
Be all in for Aaron Rodgers, but guess not.
Maybe
imagine Rodgers with both of them.
Yeah,
Tyreek and Waddle.
Gross.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Tom Brady. Even though that ship has probably sailed, but they were in on it at least.
Yeah.
And then lost a first-round pick because of it.
Well, now they have a Hall of Fame quarterback on their roster. So.
Mike White?
Mike White. Just saying.
Oh, Jesus.
So next, getting into the New England Patriots. Gross. I want to vomit saying that name. They signed long snapper Joe Cardona. Great. Really needed him. Jabril Peppers. They, I don't know. Did they really need him?
He's just, I mean, Rep spoke about this last episode that he was just kind of everywhere, and that's what Bill Belichick likes. Just versatile guys. So, yeah.
That's true. Cornerback Jonathan Jones, 2-year, $20 million.
I thought he was gonna get more than that.
Yeah, but I guess he just wants to stay home. They re-signed Mac Wilson, Roquan McMillan, Daniel Ekuale. Yeah, that guy. Oh man, James Ferentz. They re-signed another one. Who knows? So they signed Chris Board, the linebacker. He's just a backup guy.
I think he's a special teamer.
Oh, okay. Sounds great. They signed Riley Reef, which that's a very good signing in my opinion.
It's yeah, because he's definitely going to compete. I don't think he's going to be like a plug and play starter at right tackle, but he'll compete.
But they really need a tackle.
Yeah.
So, and they signed Calvin Anderson as well there. So, I mean, a little competition.
Yeah.
And then the three big ones, in my opinion. So Gesicki, they get rid of Janu. They bring in Gesicki, which is definitely better. But I still don't understand what they're doing with two tight ends.
Well, now that Bill O'Brien's back, I think it is going to be very beneficial for them to do that because they have shown that they could be very effective with two tight end sets.
What Bill
So
O'Brien was in charge with Gronk and Hernandez?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it is
Gotcha.
basically perfect. And Janu wouldn't have even really worked in that role, in my
Yeah.
opinion, at least, because he's not like
I
a
agree.
straight up tight end. So
True.
I'm surprised that Gesicki is only getting that only 4.5 mil as a base salary.
Yeah,
And then
I think
obviously
he maybe wants to
incentives.
show something, and then after this season, he'll get more. It's like a prove
Yeah,
deal.
I guess so. But it's also like you probably could have gone and been a starter. But the
Yeah.
fact that one of the things that probably got him there is the fact that it's Bill O'Brien and they've shown that they probably said like, yeah, we're gonna value you a lot. Like you're not our second tight end. You're our second tight end one, basically.
Yeah, that is true. He's
Yeah.
better than Henry.
I think he is.
So,
But
yeah. So we'll see. Two other ones. James Robinson signing, I thought was fantastic. He before injury, he was a stud. Even last year, he was just an animal, and then they gave it to Etienne, and then he got traded to the Jets, and he just couldn't get the playbook down. That's a great signing.
it's gonna be interesting to see how much Damian Harris gets though. Because I don't think James Robinson signed for 2 years, 8 mil. I don't think Damian's gonna get a lot more than that.
No.
So it's gonna be
But I
interesting
think
to see.
James Robinson's going to be much better than Harris.
Could be. Ramondre's still the guy there, but
Oh, 100%. And then we have Juju.
Boo Boo Schuster.
3-year, 25.5 mil, worth up to 33 with incentives.
Yeah.
I don't care about Juju.
Yeah, you're not a Juju guy, but this actually is
I
a pretty
really
good
not.
signing. Especially because
It's
like
okay.
when it first came out, it was like Juju and Jacoby Myers got the same contract, 3 years, 33 mil.
Yeah.
But then it came out after that Juju was only getting 25.5, and the 33 was with incentives.
Mhm.
So he's basically like it's a team friendly deal, and I'm pretty sure his cap hit for this year is like almost 2 mil. Like it's really low. It's kind of backloaded the contract. So yeah, I mean, I
for
think
the
it's a good
same
signing.
money though, they still downgraded from Jacoby.
Yeah, but it's also Juju is basically a big slot, and I think some teams kind of view Jacoby as that, and I guess the Patriots did too. So I don't know. I think Jacoby is like without a doubt better than Juju, and the only thing that Juju is definitely better at than Jacoby is yak.
Mhm.
So maybe
And
they
TikTok
did that,
dances.
and TikTok dances that too. He's very good at
Yeah.
that. They
They
always
still
sign
need
these.
D-Hop.
Oh yeah, Rupp is still campaigning to bring D Hop to New England, and
It's
so
not
is
going to
Matt
happen.
Judon. I like it makes sense still because they still need a guy. Like you got Juju, who's on a somewhat cheap contract, especially for this year, but he's
Mhm.
still just a big slot guy. You don't have like an outside, like just winner. Like
Yeah.
they just got solid guys all around. Like Devontae Parker's not anything special.
Yeah.
And there's just they need something. So
I think D-Hop's going to go to the Cowboys, and New England has to come up with a plan B. So
could be Brandon Cooks, could be OBJ.
Or could be no one, and that's even better. So
I would prefer that.
All right, now on to the New York Jets, soon to be Super Bowl champions. Kidding. Let's start with the punter, Thomas Morstead. Braden Mann is a piece of crap. He cost us, did he? Yeah, with that tackle, he cost us Trevor Lawrence.
He did. Now he's on a
Anyway.
trade block. I don't see a team trading for him.
I wouldn't give a 7 for.
Yeah.
He sucks.
He's not good. He used to be good.
He's the reason that no, he was never good. He's the reason that the Patriots guy ran it back last season with no time remaining on the clock because he punted it straight in the middle.
Yeah.
And a low kick. Just he sucks. Thomas Moore said, "Welcome back." He had a short stint. So.
Oh, I do recall. I do recall that.
Yeah. They re-signed Greg Zuerlein. Greg the Leg. Great signing. They re-signed Quincy Williams, which he what? 6 mil a year. He's a little raw. He needs some help. He overcommits sometimes, but he's pretty good. And I really think they gave him that contract because Quinnen is going to need a new deal. And they just signed the brother, so it'll make it a little easier for Quinnen.
Yeah. It was also tough because they re-signed him before free agency, and then it ended up that all of these linebackers were like not getting money at all. Like he's making more money than David Long, like I think Cole Holcomb, and then the dude Drew Tranquil that just signed with the Chiefs is only getting like 4 or 5. So it ended up being a little bit of an overpay, but it was before free agency, so they really couldn't know. And
they
I mean,
could have made out on the deal, and everyone getting much more than that.
yeah. So it was a gamble, but I mean, you're still getting a solid player, and like you said, that's another reason for Quinnen to sign. So
yeah, 100%. They re-signed Solomon Thomas. Who gives a crap? So they signed Wes Schweitzer. I don't know, depth on the line, the guard or center, not too sure. Don't care. We still need a lot of help on the line. We have signed that trade with Chuck Clark.
Yes,
for a 7th-round pick. That's big right there.
Yeah, the Ravens were just going to cut him, but he's played like what over 1,000 snaps like the past couple of years or something. Like he is an every down player.
Yeah,
he's an instant starter on the Jets. It was a great trade.
Yeah, I love that guy. And then we signed Alan Lazard,
starting the New York Packers.
Yeah, right. 4 years, 44 million, which again, it's like 11 a year. It's really not that crazy. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's an overpay." Like, no, it's not. And plus, if it helps bring Rodgers in, I'm down for a little bit of an overpay.
Yeah, and it's also like Jacoby just got 11 a year. Juju's making up to 11 a year. Like it's kind of what his market value was, and it's also they're moving off of Corey Davis, so you needed the upgrade basically. So either way, you're signing somebody that you could benefit. Clearly, it's not their biggest need. They still need O-line help and everything, but I don't hate the signing.
As long as we keep the first pick, we'll do something in the draft.
So. Yeah, I would say so. 100% that signing is because of Rodgers, though. Like they would not have. They probably wouldn't even have been in on Alan Lazard if it wasn't for Rodgers.
Yeah, so, I agree. Before we get into Rodgers talk, the big thing that they lost is defensive line Sheldon Rankins.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, so
their D line needs help.
I mean, honestly, John Franklin Myers played better when he was next to Quinnen, right in the middle. For some reason, they put him to the outside. Don't know why. Jermaine Johnson, you just drafted last year. I think it's time to bump him up. Who's the other guy that they have?
Carl Lawson still.
2nd-round tender on him. Yeah, Carl Lawson, but I don't give a crap. He can go.
Bryce Huff? Is he still there?
Huff is very good.
Yeah, he broke Josh Allen's UCL.
That is true. Bryce Huff is awesome. So even him on the outside, him and Jermaine, Carl Lawson on the other side, got JFM and Quinnen in the middle. I think they're all right.
They definitely do need depth, and I think they kind of overpaid for Solomon Thomas a little bit, but not too bad. It was like 3.9 or something. Like it's not that much money, but
true.
He is a backup. He's not like a rotation. I mean, he is a rotational guy, but he is just like he's a backup.
Wasn't he a 1st-round pick?
I'm pretty sure he was like 4th overall with the Niners.
Gross.
Yeah, no, absolute bust. But
and now into the Rodgers stuff. My name on here, if anyone could see, is F Green Bay. They're asking for way too much. I don't know what they're asking for. I heard they want the same deal as Russell Wilson, as Matt Stafford. You're not getting that for a 39-year-old. But at what point do the Jets say, well, we kind of just need him at this point?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And we also don't really know what is true and what isn't, because for the longest time it was the deal is done. We're just waiting for Rodgers' decision. And then he gets on Pat McAfee show and says, I already made my decision. It's up to them now. They're just waiting on the compensation. So from what it does sound like, I'm going to believe Rodgers in this case, because that kind of does make the most sense. Because he already said his intentions were to play for the Jets. So I'm going based off of that the Packers are asking too much. And
Yep, 100%.
I mean,
And Joe D is a genius in trade, so he does not want to give up too much.
I think what is kind of lost here is that everybody's saying like, "Oh, the Packers have no leverage. Like he wants to play for the Jets and he only wants to go play for the Jets." But at the same time, he's under contract with the Packers. They could just not trade him and say, "You could rot on our bench. We're still going with Jordan Love. We don't have to trade you if we're not going to get the fair compensation."
But at that point, you're wasting what, 90 million over the next 2 years or something like that.
It's a lot of money.
Don't you need Jordan Love to get some help in the draft and everything?
Probably.
So you're going to be spiteful and not trade Rodgers at all, and you're also screwing up your team by not getting free agents and better draft picks and everything else. Like you're idiots. So
Yeah.
I see it both ways, but help Jordan Love.
It's also they
Gotta do
haven't
something.
they haven't even helped Rodgers.
Agreed.
So
So
what is going to make them be like, "Oh, now we're going to draft a first round receiver"?
yeah. Well, they're gonna get Corey Davis in the deal.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah, they always wanted Corey Davis, so here's Corey Davis for your quarterback. Now you have a lot of cap space. So all these guys are going and they don't have the cap space. Like you're screwing up.
Yeah, and it's also they restructured so many deals where they do have like a decent amount in cap now, but it's either there's two things that I'm seeing from this. They're creating all this money now. It's either you're expecting to retain Rodgers for this year and you're willing to eat the whatever 50 mil cap hit that it's going to be for him to stay on the roster.
Well, continue. We'll get into that.
Yeah. So is it like you're cleaning up all this money now? It's either you're going to get someone, you're just making money to like make these big signings, maybe go get an Odell or something, or you're just really willing to just eat it and not trade Rodgers.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
One thing is if they trade him now, they have like a what is it? They trade him now, they have a $40 million cap hit. If they wait till post June 1st, they have like 15 million cap hit. So it does make sense to trade him after that, but you can't. You're going to screw up the draft. You're not going to get anyone in the draft that you need. And what if Rodgers all of a sudden says, "Nah, I don't want to be traded," and he screws your team up because you're screwing him? So, but
It is
for the Jets' sake, if he retires, everyone's screwed.
It is a tough
Not
boat
really.
to be
Green
in
Bay's-
for both teams.
Yeah. So
As a Bills fan who does not want Rodgers on the Jets, I'm loving every second of this.
as a Green Bay part owner of the Green Bay Packers, F you Packers.
You have a say in this, don't you? Why don't you just call up the GM and say, "Hey, make the trade"?
Yeah, I tried. He didn't answer my phone call.
Damn it.
Bastard.
All right, and that wraps up the AFC East. We're going to move on to the AFC North. We're going to start off with the Cincinnati Bengals. So they haven't done a lot. They re-signed Jermaine Pratt, 3-year, $21 million deal. That's just another linebackers are not getting a lot of money in this free agency. I think he's a great player. I think that's a very good deal. Then they signed former Bills legend Cody Ford to a 1-year deal. Just depth. You'll be disappointed if he ever steps on the field for you. But they did say that they're going to exclusively play him at right tackle, which is what he was drafted for, and then was never good. Then went inside, also wasn't good. So who knows? But then their big one, they also lost a lot of people, which we will get into after this big signing. But their big signing, Orlando Brown, 4-year, 64 mil. It's a weird contract.
Money.
It's a lot of money, but like they backloaded the they front loaded the contract because it's 31 mil guaranteed, so that's almost half of it's guaranteed. But they have it so because they have a lot of money now, so I'm pretty sure they front loaded it. But I mean it's a good signing. They needed the left tackle. Now Jonah Williams is going to be either shipped off or moves into guard or something. I don't think Orlando Brown's that good. He was just the best left tackle on the market, even though Juwan Taylor got more. Arguably best left tackle on the market. We'll say that.
He's definitely good. He's an upgrade of what they had. So, and the main thing is protect Burrow. So
it's true.
They're making the right calls. Just even if it is a little overpaid, whatever. Got to protect your guy.
And then they definitely lost a couple guys, which you will get into.
Safety they're like screwed at.
Yeah.
Von Bell, where did he go?
Von Bell went to the Panthers.
And
And
then
Je-
Jesse Beats went to the Falcons, right?
yes,
Jesse Beats got that money, but
he got a
what are they
bag.
gonna do?
They'd signed Nick Scott from the Rams to a
Ah, that guy.
3-year 12 mil, I believe. And then
Mhm.
they hosted Taylor Rapp on a visit. And I think Taylor Rapp would be a good signing in that. I mean, you're definitely downgrading a bit there, but they still got Dax Hill. We expected at least one of those safeties to be gone, and Dax Hill would fill that role. Not ideal to lose both of them like that.
Definitely not. But whatever it is, I guess they're keeping their money for E. Higgins. So
True. And they got to get the
because
Burrow extension done.
exactly. Because another one of their pass catchers, Hayden Hurst, is now gone as well.
Mm-hmm. Did he go to the
So,
Panthers too? Yeah, he went to the Panthers.
wow. Okay. So yeah, they need to do something there. What they should do is give the Jets a call and get back CJ Uzama because he was a stud in that offense.
Yeah, what I expect them to do is just do it in the draft because this is a really good tight end class.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, good offseason so far. I guess you lose your two top safeties, but you sign one back. You already got one on the roster.
Mhm.
And then you make the big splash signing of Orlando Brown to protect your guy.
What are they doing at running back? Because they lost Samja Perine, but I also heard a while ago
Samaje
that
Perine.
yeah,
I don't know how you
Samaje.
butchered that name so bad, but you did.
It's not Perine, it's Perine.
No, it's not. It's LaMichael
I don't
Perine.
give
And it's
Michael
still
Perine. It's
no,
the
it's still
brother.
Perine.
Well, screw them. I don't care. They both suck.
Samaje
Um,
Perine's good.
yeah, he's better than his brother, but still, man.
It's true.
But is Joe Mixon staying now?
I guess he's not getting any charges against him for allegedly shooting a child, so that's
I
good.
think his sister took the rap for him, right?
Yeah, but there's no charges being pressed either way, so
So,
I don't know.
all right.
Weird. But I would
Yep.
expect him. I would expected him to be cut already if he was.
Mhm.
So I'm expecting that to just he's going to stay there. All right.
They definitely
Now
need-
we are moving on to the Cleveland Browns. So Cleveland Browns restructured Deshaun Watson's contract, and like for the next 3 years, his cap hit's $64 million. It is
do.
insane. Really,
You
really
do.
crazy.
You almost go to jail. You do these things to women, and you just make out
Yeah.
like a bandit. Like, are you kidding? Anyway,
But they've made some pretty good signings. They re-signed Ethan Pocic. They signed Jordan Akins from the Texans, which is kind of weird because you have Njoku, you have Harrison Bryant, who also costs a pretty decent amount of money for a backup, and then you just got like a solid third string. So they're definitely going to value the tight end a lot in that offense.
Mhm.
And then Ogbo Okoronkwo,
That
3-year,
guy.
$19 million deal. Good, sure. And they
Yeah.
re-signed Tristan Hill, Maurice Hurst, pretty good. And then they gave out a absolute bag and a half to Dalvin Tomlinson, 4-year, 57 mil.
Yeah.
I think this was what he was gonna get, but it's a lot of money. But they needed somebody. Like they haven't had like a big space eater D tackle.
Mhm.
Like I don't even know since when. Like they've always needed that. So that's definitely a good signing. And they re-signed Sion Takitaki and then Juan Thornhill. They obviously moved off of John Johnson, so signed him to a 3-year, $21 million deal over from the Chiefs. I think they're making some solid moves. They're still going to be in on a receiver.
They still need help on the D line, though, right? Because they lost Taven Bryan at D tackle and then Chase Winovich off the edge.
And Clowney as well.
And Clowney, yeah.
So yeah,
True.
they definitely need some O-line help. We could definitely use some more edge help specifically since they just got the big man in Dalvin Tomlinson.
True.
But I mean, it's hard for them just considering like the cap situation isn't bad right now because they restructured the deal, but you can't do that forever.
No.
$64 million cap hit is gonna bite you on some Saints level stuff.
Mm-hmm. But that's what you deserve. That's what you get for giving that dumbass contract.
Yes, to a very not
Morons.
great person.
Definitely not. So getting into the Steelers next, they re-signed Larry Ogunjobi, 3 years, $29 million, basically. Not bad at all. They linebackers. They signed Cole Holcomb and Landon Roberts.
I really
Landon
like
Roberts.
the Landon Roberts. Yeah, I really like the Cole Holcomb signing though.
Yeah,
not a lot, $6 million per year. I mean, this is basically the Quincy Williams deal.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Cole Holcomb is pretty much exactly what the Steelers need. Like they had Devin Bush, who was just not good
No.
especially for how he was drafted. But Cole Holcomb is not the best in coverage, but he is just a tackling machine.
Yeah.
It is a very Steelers signing to me. So I
True.
like that one a lot.
They also signed Nate Herbig. Isn't that the guy from the Jets? The guard?
Yes, it is.
Good. Didn't he suck? I
Yep.
think he came from the Eagles. So
Might
it's
have.
like a depth guy. I think he might have started a few times with the Jets because we had so many injuries. And the big guy that they signed, Patrick Peterson, which confused the shit out of me
Oh yeah.
because I want to go to a team. I want to win. What are they going to win? Fourth place in their division?
Yeah, it didn't make sense for both sides because they just moved off to Cam Sutton. Well, they didn't re-sign him, and he got like maybe 3 mil more, 4 mil more, which is not a lot considering that Cam Sutton is probably better right now. Plus, he's younger. And then for Pat Pete, like you just said, you wanted to go get jewelry. Why would you go to the Steelers?
Don't know. That was dumb. Real dumb.
Weird signing all around. I guess it kind of does make sense to get like a veteran corner because they got Levi Wallace, they got Akella Witherspoon, they got some pretty decent younger-ish corners, and I'm sure they're probably going to draft one in the class. So
True.
I don't know. It was weird. It didn't really make a lot of sense to me.
Very strange. The Steelers, I just realized they went 9-8. So Mike Tomlin still does not have a losing record.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
They were like 4-8 too. They just like rattled off some wins.
They really did.
It was funny because I was talking with Monty and they were like, it was like they're clearly gonna have a losing season for the first time in forever. And then we joked about like, what if they just like basically win out and somehow keep that streak alive? And it happened.
It really did.
Somehow did.
And Mike Tomlin, man, he's very good. And with the last team in the division, the Baltimore Ravens, they signed Justice Hill.
Yeah,
re-signed Justice Hill and Trayvon Mullen.
Like you said, they re-signed Justice Hill, Trayvon Mullen, also Geno Stone. Yeah. They've only re-signed guys. They're one of two teams that just haven't added anybody.
Mm-hmm. They lost guard Ben Powers and then Josh Oliver, but who gives a crap about that one? So they need O-line help, but I guess we'll see what they're going to do with the O-line because who's going to be their quarterback?
I think that's what's really holding them up because they like really don't know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And I think it's also they've been on like D-Hop apparently and OBJ, but it's also like if it's up to like OBJ, it's up to him because he's a free agent. Like, are you going to go to the Ravens if you don't know who your quarterback is? Nope.
Agreed.
So I think that's what's really holding them up is the whole Lamar thing.
Yeah, which it's their own fault. Pay them in. But at the same time, I understand you can't give a fully guaranteed contract. Like the Browns messed everything up for everyone.
They did, and it sucks that Lamar has to be the example that the NFL is trying to set that we can't do this anymore. But it was he also tweeted that they gave him or they offered him like a 3-year, $130 million fully guaranteed contract. I think that's just disrespectful. Like you offer him a 3-year extension. Like what I would do is probably maybe guarantee like the first 3 years basically, or maybe the first 4, but then still give him like a 6-year contract or something like that. I mean, we obviously don't know how the negotiations went, but that's just the one thing that he said. So
true.
I don't know.
I don't know either, but there's definitely some stuff going on around the league about this. So
yeah,
how no team is really giving him contract offer or anything.
Yeah, it really could just be that he is not getting the interest. And if it holds out until after the draft, then I think his interest will pick up. Because let's say a team like the Colts, where obviously the best that they could do at this point is getting the 3rd best quarterback in the draft, who it could be their number 1. Maybe if they think Anthony Richardson is their highest prospect, then maybe. But there's a real chance that either them or another team is going to miss out on their guy and then be like, all right, well, that kind of sucks, but hey, give a lot of money. Give 2 second-round picks. Go get a guy.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing at all. That's when I expect
And
things to pick up.
the Ravens could still, and I think they're going to, match whatever offer. Because it's going to be lower than what he wants. And they're going to match it. They're going to bring him back. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, but it's also like Lamar is definitely aware of that. So he's not going to just accept the deal because he's like, all right, let's use the Falcons as an example, even though they said they're out already. So let's say they offer like a somewhat okay contract, and he isn't going to be like, oh, the Falcons offered me the best contract. Maybe I'll just do that, because then it's going to be matched. I think he's going to get what he wants, or at least that's what he's going to aim for, is to get what he wants. And that's the only way that he will accept the deal.
Agreed.
And there still is a chance that the Ravens do match that, but I don't know. It's very interesting. It's the biggest domino that's going to fall this offseason, even beyond Rodgers, because Rodgers, it's 1 year, maybe 2 years. Lamar is probably going to play for, I mean, who knows? He could be a star quarterback in the league for the next 10 years, really.
Or be in the league for another 3 or 4 until his body gives out.
There's a chance for that too.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Hopefully he's just out of the AFC. There's too many good quarterbacks, and it's ridiculous.
I'm begging, please. The NFC talent quarterback-wise is just not good.
What do they have? Jalen Hurts. They have Dak is up there.
Kirk Cousins is up there. Geno Smith is up there. And we know how you feel about Geno Smith.
Oh my God, he's a bag of crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's got to get out. Just leave the AFC. Go.
Yeah. Well, that wraps up the AFC North. And we are going to get into the AFC South, starting out with the Texans. They always just do this thing where they just signed like so many people.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's just randoms, but they actually did make some pretty good signings.
They signed so many, holy crap.
I'm pretty sure they have the most signings in free agency so far.
Them or Bears? It's got to be close.
Could be. Oh, that's true. Could be both. But first signing, Case Keenum, stolen from the Bills. That's fine. Literally don't care. Then they signed Mike Boone. Okay. He's just going to be
legend right there.
Yeah, Broncos legend for 2 weeks. And then they signed fake CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown to very small contract.
Ew,
that's
2.6.
2.6 for 1 year. Very small contract. He's actually been pretty good at times. And then Robert Woods, which we spoke about, that I forgot what episode it was, but it came out while we were recording, so you got live reactions for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is one of the random ones, like Andrew Beck. He's like a fullback, tight end. Okay. And then they acquired Shaq Mason in a deal. I think that's a very good trade. Shaq Mason is a good guard, and he has been just traded for dirt in his career. I don't get it. They sent over a 6th and got Shaq Mason, and a 7th. So, yeah, good. They needed O-line help.
Yeah.
Re-signed Scott Quessenberry. They signed Chase Winovich. Stole Sheldon Rankins.
Bastards.
Yeah.
$10.5 million. Damn.
Yeah, he got a decent deal.
Yeah.
And then just 3 random ones in Hassan Ridgeway, Tavier Thomas, and MJ Stewart. Sure, man. Go just have a great time. And then Jimmy Ward, which I saw that one coming from a mile away, just because the 49ers connection. It's a good signing. Him and Jalen Petrie play a somewhat similar role, so it's going to be interesting to see how that works, but studs.
Yeah.
And like we said when we were breaking them down in a past video, they just need help everywhere. So if you're going to sign 10 randoms, then go ahead. You just need help.
At the same time, besides Shaq Mason, besides even like a Sheldon Rankins, Jimmy Ward, like, you still need so much help because these are like not great guys.
Yeah,
Winovich, like they need a lot of help still.
They try to go for like these bargain deals, but you have so much money. Why don't you just try to acquire some stars? Like be in on a Tremaine Edmonds, or I don't know, being on a Jesse Bates. It's just like they try to just do this thing where they just sign a bunch of random people, throw them in, and they might perform better, but you're not really getting better. You're just signing these like mid players. Like, you have so much money, go spend it on like big name guys who are going to be stars.
Yep, I agree.
They always do this though. They've done this for the past
like crap.
Yeah, it is a never-ending cycle. And then going over to the Indianapolis Colts, some questionable moves. One of the big ones is the Stephon Gilmore trade. Got a 5th in return. I'm very surprised that they couldn't get more, really. I wouldn't expect them to get a lot more because he is just only has one more year left, plus he's aging, but he just came off of a very, very good year.
Yeah.
They saved, I think, what, $9 million? So you saved a pretty decent amount, but like now you need a corner. So I don't know.
They also lost Brandon Facey's son.
Yeah, Brandon
son.
Yeah, that dude.
Whatever the F that is, but
I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I know that he was on the Raiders too.
Yeah. So you definitely need corner help now.
Yep. And then they signed Matt Gay to the biggest free agent kicker contract of all time. 4 years, 22.5.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Then EJ Speed re-signed Ashton Doolin. I think they probably spent a little bit too much on an Ashton Doolin. But Taven Bryan, they signed a 1-year deal. And then the two bigger ones, Samson Ebukam, 3-year, 27 mil. I think that's a very good deal, and they're probably losing out on Yannick. I think Ebukam is probably better than Yannick, at least almost on the same level.
Yeah.
So they needed it. They didn't spend too much. I think that's a good signing. And then they signed Gardner Minshew, 1 year, 3.5, max value, 5.5 with incentives. I think that's a very good signing. And this goes back to like the Mike White thing we were just talking about. Like Gardner Minshew's getting 3.5. Mike White is getting what, 8 mil? It's weird to me, but I do like the signing for the Colts though, 100%.
Yeah.
Because let's say they do get a guy that needs to develop. I'm like completely fine with having Gardner Minshew as my starter for a year.
He was like the best backup last year.
Yeah. Well, he was weird when he played. Because like he did make good plays, but then he just threw it to the other team a couple times, and he lost them 2 games.
Yeah.
But before that, like on the Jags and everything, he was a monster.
Yeah, I think it's a good signing for sure. I really like that kid.
Yeah, and definitely moving off of Matt Ryan was needed.
Oh my god.
And there was something that I saw. So they ended up saving 19 mil, and there's like an 18 mil dead cap. So, but when he first got traded, that wasn't in the contract. Like, it was originally that if it came to this year and they cut him, they would have just got 45 mil. But his agent renegotiated the contract when he came to the Colts so that this would be here. So he would be owed more money. So
smart man.
He saved Matt Ryan nearly $20 million. So give that agent a raise.
Yeah, right. Next, we're going to get into the Tennessee Titans. They re-signed Nick Westbrook-Akeen. Whatever. They signed Andre Dillard, 3-year, 29. Not bad at all. They lost. What was Luwan? What position?
He was left tackle. It's weird with Dillard because he could step in and be left tackle, but if he doesn't work out there, you could throw him at guard. But he's also very unproven. Like he was a backup on the Eagles, and it's definitely a risky signing. And I think it's good. Good. Plus, they need the O-line help, and he's relatively young, so pretty good.
Guard Daniel Brunskill. They're signing him?
Yes.
They just didn't officially sign him yet?
It's expected. I don't know if I guess it's agreed to, but hasn't been signed.
I guess so. Another guy, Arden Key.
Key.
3 years, 21. That was good.
Yeah,
I like that for him.
Less than Bud Dupree, and he's arguably better than Bud Dupree, so
I agree.
Good signing.
They signed Aziz El-Shair. Very good. And long snapper, Morgan Cox.
That is that the one that's... No, the Colts guy is jacked.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a long snapper. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, agreed.
I do like the Aziz Al-Shair signing, but it also is still confusing to me because you could have just got David Long back, and he's been really good in that system. And Aziz Al-Shair is not like... He's kind of like an outside... He's kind of like how Matt Milano plays. Like, he's not just like a straight-up middle linebacker. Like, he's more of like an outside linebacker, and that's kind of how Aziz Al-Shaair is, and David Long would be better in the middle. It's a little questionable, but I think Aziz Al-Shaair is very good. So I like the signing.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they lost Nate Davis at guard. They lost Robert Woods, David Long, Austin Hooper, Bud Dupree, Taylor Lewan. That team's
did they cut Austin Hooper?
shaky. No, he's a free agent.
Hmm.
Pretty sure.
I guess Austin Hooper's free agent.
Mhm.
All right.
Which he sucked. So
Yeah.
whatever it is. But yeah, that team needs help. You actually think they're going to trade Derrick Henry?
No.
I don't think so either. He's the whole team. So
I mean, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't want him on the Bills. Just don't see it being realistic, like at all.
I agree.
Yeah, I just don't see a trade happening.
No, and I think he's got another like 2 years, and he's just gonna die.
I don't think he's ever gonna just flat out fall off. Like I think he's gonna be declining for a little bit.
I don't know. That hard to
It's
tell.
yeah, you really can't tell when a running back is just gonna fall off.
Yeah, but I mean, his career is coming to an end soon, and he's probably just gonna retire with the Titans.
Yeah, but I mean, still,
Okay.
he's got at least a couple more years of good football in him.
Yeah.
So
But what is he right now? How old?
either 29 or 30.
Yeah, so he's right there.
Yeah, this is the hill for
Mhm.
NFL running backs.
Yep.
Sometimes it comes before then. Zeke is a good example of that. I think he's 28 right now,
True.
and he's been battling injuries, but he just does not have it anymore.
So the next team is the last team in that division is the Jaguars. So they lost tackle Jawan Taylor, edge Arden K, whatever his name is.
Still key.
Key, still Key. Hey, you never know. People say weird things.
It's still key though.
They re-signed your guy, CJ Beathard. His jersey's over there somewhere, right? There you go.
Shout out
Signed.
CJ Beathard. He's a great guy.
Mhm.
Friend of the show, we'll say.
Yeah, totally. He's watched it many times. They gave Ingram the non-exclusive franchise tag, so that was needed. He's a big target for Trevor Lawrence. They signed Roy Robertson Harris, 3 years, $30
Overpaid.
million. Yeah,
They did that, but they did that before free agency, so they couldn't really know the market. But I don't know.
They are signing corner Trey Herndon, and they re-signed safety Andrew Wingard, which was needed.
Yeah, they're the other team other than the Ravens that haven't added anybody. They've just retained guys.
Yeah. What are they waiting for though? Unless they really don't think they need anything.
I could kind of see them just running it back with who they have, adding through the draft and some really cheap guys. Because I mean, they did just spend the most guaranteed money ever in free agency last year.
Yeah.
But I would say you got Trevor Lawrence on a rookie deal.
They also just got Calvin Ridley.
Yeah. So they're you're in a spot where you're kind of all in. And I think offensively, weapons wise, I don't think you get better than that, really. Receiving core is awesome. ETN's a beast. Evan Ingram's a beast. You need help on the O-line 100%. But then just adding some pieces on defense, and you're a team that's really ready to win now with a very good quarterback on a rookie deal. So I don't know why they're being so passive, but I could kind of see it just because they did spend so much money.
True.
I don't expect them to just not sign guys though. They're gonna go get their guys. Got to wait for the market to die down a little bit, get some bargains.
That is true.
All right, so that wraps up the AFC South. Now we are moving on to the West, starting off with the Denver Broncos, who
they made some good moves.
How? Don't know. They have negative in their bank account, but they're just buying on credit, basically.
Yep.
So they signed Jarrett Stidham, 2-year, $10 million. He looked pretty good with the Raiders for a little bit. Then Samaje Perine, 2-year, $7.5 million. I think that's
Green, you mean?
Yeah, whatever that is. I think that's a great deal.
Yeah.
You saw when Joe Mixon was out, Perine was just killing it. So while Javante's out, he's going to be the guy that's more than good enough. And then when when Javonte comes back, that is a very good 1-2 punch. Clearly, Javonte will be the lead back there, but not a lot of money. Good player. Ugly beard, but good player. And then Michael Burton, Chris Manhertz. Then they made 2 really big O-line additions. Signed Ben Powers, 4-year, $52 million. A lot of money. A little bit overpaid, I think. Because you look at the other guards, how much money they're getting. It's not really close to this. But Ben Powers was top 10 in pass block win rate and run block win rate. Very, very good guard. Then right tackle Mike McGlinchey, 5-year, $87.5 million deal.
Crazy money.
Big contract. I think it's, kind of worth it. Especially when Juwan Taylor got $20 million a year, then you're only getting McGlinchey, 17.5? So
Crazy.
Very good additions to the O-line. Yeah. Then another big contract, Zach Allen, getting nearly $15 million a year, 3-year, 45 points. Is it? It's over 15. 15 and a quarter? Yeah. Big contract. Overpaid. Good player. Overpaid.
Yep.
And then Alex Singleton they re-signed. 3 years, $18 million. Same contract as Quincy Williams. The linebacker market is just so weird. And then Trayman Smith. But you look at those big 3, Ben Powers, Mike McGlinchey, Zach Allen, those are huge contracts, and they were negative money.
Sean Payton just likes spending money. That's just what it is.
I mean, you're kind of all in at this point.
Yeah.
So good for you. I just don't know how.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I mean, they're really they're putting him in a great spot to succeed, Russell Wilson. But then you got Jerry Jeudy rumors, Cortland Sutton rumors. So
one of them is going to go, and I'm assuming it's going to be Jeudy.
So. I just don't understand why. I could understand moving off of Sutton because you already paid him.
And he gets hurt a lot.
Yeah, but then you look at Jerry Jeudy, who's on a rookie contract for at least 2 more years, he's good. He's a very good route runner. He shored up his hands a bit. He had some drop problems. He wasn't 100% catch rate this year, but much better than what he has been. I really don't understand why you want to move off of a guy like that. But I don't know. Apparently they're asking for a first or a second and a player. So if you're going to get that much, then maybe. But I don't know. Especially if they've shown they have to be all in right now. So why would you just take away your quarterback's top 2 targets? I don't know.
Agreed.
Then we are moving on to the Kansas City Chiefs. Their big one, Juwan Taylor, 4 years, $80 million. It's a gamble because you're spending $20 million. It's more than what Orlando Brown was getting. You're going to move Juwan Taylor to the left side. He hasn't played left tackle. He's been a right tackle. I think that the fact that Juwan Taylor's younger, I think he's going to be better than Orlando Brown, but you gave a lot of money for a gamble. It's not a bad signing. I think it's probably going to pay out because, Orlando Brown was a right tackle that went to left tackle. Sure. But, $80 million, $60 million guaranteed. Yeah, that's a lot of money for a guy who hasn't played left tackle that you're going to expect to play left tackle.
Yeah.
But, hey, they've done it before.
Yeah,
so.
They do everything right.
Yeah.
So.
And then they signed Nick Allegretti, Charles Omenihu. I don't know how to say his last name, but he's pretty good. It's your Frank Clark replacement. 2 years, $20 million. Solid player all around. Tershawn Wharton, sure. And then Mike Edwards is a sneaky good signing. It lost Juan Thornhill. Mike Edwards is pretty good on the Bucs. And then the one that I probably like the most out of everything is the Drew Tranquil. Apparently, he took less money to go to the Chiefs. And I think Drew Tranquil is a starter at linebacker right there. But it's also questionable because if you look at their linebackers, which is one of the strongest positions on their whole entire team, you got Willie Gay, you got Nick Bolton, you got Leo Chanel, and now you got Drew Tranquil.
Stud.
They have 4 very good linebackers. I think this frees them up to have Willie Gay rush off the edge more because we've seen a very small sample size. But as an edge rusher, he's very, very good.
So, Orlando Brown left. You're going to put Juwan Taylor there. but they also lost Andrew Wiley.
Yeah, they're gonna need a right tackle.
Yeah, 100%. So even, I mean, is Jawan Taylor maybe just going to the right and drafting a left?
I mean, it would make sense, but you
But
don't
that
give
much money for a right tackle.
exactly. You don't do that if you don't think he's gonna go over the left side. In my opinion, at least, I think that makes the most sense that you would at least throw him out there on the left side, and it's also like they're not gonna just be like, oh, let's see how it works. Like they definitely know that they have something. Like they're not just gonna give an $80 million gamble. Like they see that it's going to work. So
Yeah.
I think they're in a good spot in the draft to get somebody who could start on the right side day one in their first round. But
True.
yeah, good signing so far. Chiefs do it right, man. It's annoying.
What are they going to do at receiver, though? They lost Juju, which, again, Juju's nothing special. But what you got Tony, which is hamstring. What are they going to do?
They've been on Odell, been on D Hop apparently.
True.
I need to go get a guy.
Yeah.
But it's also like you don't need to really spend that much or do that much because you saw what Mahomes just won with.
I know. That is true. Getting into the Los Angeles Chargers, they re-signed Easton Stick, backup QB, right? Donald Parham, tight end, cheap deal, 2-year, 2.6. They re-signed Trey Pipkins. They re-signed Morgan Fox. They agreed with punter J.K. Scott, and they signed Eric Kendricks, linebacker, 2-year deal, 13.5. They didn't lose anyone, so like they didn't really get anyone either, though.
Yeah, it's always the
Good.
Trey Pipkins signing is weird. He's like not good, and they gave him like a 3 year, maybe
Ooh, what did I do?
21.
Ew. Oh, I
He
didn't even see the signing.
Yeah, it doesn't say it on here, but they overpaid for Trey Pipkins. Like you could literally get somebody in the draft this year in the second round that's instantly better than Trey Pipkins. I think.
True.
So I don't
I don't
I
know.
don't like that signing at all.
They definitely need to do something, especially if they lose Eckler.
That is a big thing. That's maybe a domino to fall. He requested permission. He didn't request a trade. He requested permission to talk to teams about a trade.
True.
So anything could happen at that point.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a prime Bijan Robinson spot, in my eyes.
That
So
is true.
that is
Big.
that would be crazy.
As long as he doesn't go to the Eagles, I don't care.
Yeah, the Eric Kendrick signing I think is pretty good.
It is.
They they lost Drew Tranquil. He went to the Chiefs. So then
True.
you replace him with
Oh,
Eric
they did
Kendricks.
lose him.
You end up spending a little bit more for Eric Kendricks, who is 31, just came off of a not good year. But I think Eric Kendricks is a very good player. It's also tough scheme wise because he did not play well in that scheme with the Vikings. So I don't know, but I mean they're not doing anything crazy. So
Yeah.
can't hate it, can't love it.
Getting into the final team in the AFC, the Las Vegas Raiders. Starting off on defense, we'll go Marcus Epps, safety, 2-year deal, 12 mil. Good.
Good signing.
Brandon Facey son. Is there
He went
another
back.
Facey son?
No, it's him. He went back to the Raiders.
Oh, okay, cool. They re-signed Curtis Bolton, signed Robert Spillane, linebacker.
From
Got
the
me.
Steelers.
Yeah, 2-year, 7 mil. They re-signed Jerry Tillery,
First round bust.
Brandon Parker, tackle. They re-signed him, 1 year, 1.5. Backup guy, I'm assuming. They signed Philip Dorsett. Garbage, in my opinion. Was never anything good. They signed Jacoby Myers, which is good. Again, the 11 mil per year. That's a big one for them.
Second biggest one.
That is true. Fullback, they re-signed. Who cares? They franchise tag Josh.
Are you kidding me?
Jacobs.
Who cares? That's Tennessee legend Jakob Johnson, man.
Good thing you said the name because I was not going to say Jakob.
Yeah, it looks like Jacob, but it is Jakob.
That's Jacob. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Go Vols, Jakob Johnson.
Yeah. They put the franchise tag on Josh Jacobs, I guess, right? Oh, Josh Jacobs, gotcha.
Close.
Ridiculous, these names. They re-signed Amir Abdullah. Cool. I thought he was out of the league, but I guess not.
I think he was on
Big
the
one.
Raiders last year too.
Was he? Could be.
Yeah.
He's been a few places. And the big one, Jimmy G. not that much money. Is he an upgrade over Carr? I don't think so. Is he even going to play because he's going to be hurt 90% of the time? Probably. What do you think?
I think that Jimmy G, skill-wise, is Derek Carr, maybe just a little bit safer with the ball. But money-wise, only paying him 24 a year, I think that's a very good deal.
It is.
But it's also at the same point, like, would you rather a Jimmy G for 24, or would you rather, like, because either way, he's not the answer.
No.
Would you rather get, like, a Baker for 4 or a Gardner Minshew for 3.5? Because either way, you're going to have to draft a rookie. Or maybe be in on Lamar. Who knows? At this point, I feel like they're kind of out of the running for Lamar because they spent so much on Jimmy G.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're getting a starting caliber quarterback who he's good. You're going to probably get a rookie. He's going to develop behind him. And only spent 24 mil on it. I think that's a good signing. I do. I just don't think it's an upgrade over Derek Carr.
I don't think so either.
Money-wise,
what
better
did
off,
Derek
though.
Carr get compared to this? Right? Derek Carr got 150?
150 over 4.
Okay. So, still a big downgrade, in my opinion.
Then the big thing for them this offseason so far has been trading away Darren Waller, getting a 3rd-round pick.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
They did lose a lot, too. Rocky Ya-Sin's gone. Denzel Perryman's old, but he's gone. Mac Hollins, he was a decent contributor last year.
Yeah, he had that one game
Only
where he had like 150 or something, and everybody was like, "Oh, pick him up in fantasy. He's a beast." He was never good again. Yeah, questionable offseason. I think that they are a poorly run team. I hate Josh McDaniels, and
Agreed.
yeah, I think either way, you definitely need a rookie quarterback. And also, like, the Jacoby Myers signing is good, but like you need defense. Like, their defense is terrible.
Yep.
And they didn't
agree.
really do anything. Like, your 2 big additions were offensive players.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, well, now the whole tight end, but like Jimmy G, Josh Jacobs, Jacoby Myers, Devontae Adams. Now you don't have a tight end.
Renfro as well. I don't know. They're just not doing things right, in my opinion. Like, if I'm them, I'm all in on Aaron Rodgers. I am all in on Lamar. Because, like, you're going to end up spending more, maybe giving up some draft picks, but you're getting, like, a stud where, I don't know. The Raiders are just, I think they're just putting themselves more in a hole. Like, I don't see them winning the division, let alone a championship, or maybe even getting into playoffs the next few years. Like, Devontae really could just retire before he gets to the playoffs again. He's 30 right now.
Agreed.
He'll probably play out his deal, then retire because he's got like 3 or 4 more years. Like, I just don't think they're doing anything right.
They're not going to beat the Chiefs anytime soon. The Chargers, Herbert, young, not going to beat them. And if Russell Wilson gets better, anything close to his old self, with Sean Payton there, Raiders are going to be last for a while.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
And it's not to say that they should just keep rebuilding until those other teams get worse. It's just like the number one thing was defense.
Yeah,
it sucked. It was terrible, and you haven't really added any difference makers on defense.
No, not at all.
You got like Marcus Epps and Spillane, who are just like smaller, like solid signings, but you need more.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but it's been a good free agency so far, and I'm expecting some more fun. But
agreed.
Yeah,
let's go Rodgers. What the hell, Green Bay?
No,
it's a big one.
No. But yeah, that wraps up the AFC. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, news, any other updates. Got some funny videos on the TikTok. I giggled every time I watched them. But yeah, that wraps up the AFC for the first week of free agency. NFC is next, and then we'll probably keep some updates coming regarding these videos. Going over some draft talk soon.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
some
fun time
for
the NFL. Got a lot going on.
Yep.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time.